Here again with another UFC predictions video as we have UFC 297 taking place on Saturday, January 20th. Just going to give my predictions for the main card. And remember, as always, that the card is subject to change. Before I give my predictions, though, a few things. If you're a fan of the UFC and you like prediction videos, as well as UFC fight reaction videos, and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button. Share this video with a friend that likes UFC. Put this video on any one of your preferred social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on my predictions, as well as predictions of your own or anything else UFC related. If you want to talk about future fight cards like UFC 299 that I'm really pumped up for, leave that in the comment section. Click right here with about 30 seconds left to go, or actually 20 seconds left to go in the video. That'll be my 2023 fight reaction highlight reel of my reactions to fun moments in fights. It's like 20 minutes long, and I think it's like 20-ish fights. It's a fun video. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You are watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV. So UFC 297 has had a couple fights removed. We were going to see Jan Blachowicz versus Alexander Rakic. That got taken off. Blachowicz is hurt. Now Rakic is fighting Prohaska at UFC 300 on the prelims. And then, of course, we had Dominic Reyes and Alberg got taken off the card. I don't remember who's hurt on that one. So we are going to kick things off in the featherweight division, where we have the undefeated Movsar Evloev versus Arnold Allen. Evloev's really good. He's undefeated, but he doesn't finish people, and sometimes he has trouble, like with Diego Lopez. He beat Diego Lopez. That was a fight taken on short notice, but Lopez actually gained a following in that fight, in my opinion, and now he's like a fan favorite, where Movsar is, he's okay, and I like him. And Arnold Allen is a big step up in competition. If he had trouble with Diego Lopez, he's going to have trouble with Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen has fought some legit contenders in the featherweight division. And, of course, his last fight was against one of the featherweight goats in Max Holloway. Now, if you fight Max Holloway, unless you're Alexander Volkanovski, he beats you. Most likely 3 rounds to 2, if not 5 rounds to nothing. And Arnold Allen didn't do that good in that fight, but other than that, he's looked really good since he's joined the UFC, and he's really improved. And I don't think he's been taken down for a while, and that, of course, is Movsar's bread and butter. He has some good strikes, but I mean, his bread and butter is to take you down and lay on you with a little bit of ground and pound. And I really think that he's going to have a lot of trouble. In fact, this is a change because I was initially going to go the other way. I'm going to pick Arnold Allen to win this fight, which Arnold Allen right now is the underdog, but it's really close. I think he gets the job done, but obviously I could see the fight going either way. But I'm going to pick Arnold Allen and not go with the guy I probably like more. Next up in the UFC middleweight division, we have Chris Curtis versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Barriault, of course, coming off of that victory over against Brad Tavares at the last card in Canada where Aldana fought Nunez. And Chris Curtis is coming off a loss to Calvin Gastelum and then that no contest. I can't remember who he fought in the no contest. These fighters kind of lose a couple, or win a couple and then lose one, win a couple and then lose one, it seems like, for both of them. I don't really have a horse in the race. There's no guy I like more in this fight. They're kind of even, in my opinion. I think it's a 50-50 coin flip. Right now, Chris Curtis is the slight favorite at a minus 170. I'm actually going to go with Chris Curtis to win the fight simply because he lost to Calvin Gastelum and then had that no contest where he hasn't won a fight in a couple fights, where Marc-Andre Barriault won his last fight. So I'm going to go with Chris Curtis. It's a fight that I could see going either way. It's probably going to be standing up most of the fight, if not the whole fight. I don't know if we'll see a finish, but I'm going to go with Chris Curtis to win the fight. And then in the welterweight division, we have the welterweight gatekeeper in Neil Magny versus Canada's sensation. That's not what he's really called, but he's the hometown hero in this fight, Mike Malott. I really liked what Mike Malott did in his last fight. He won me over, and he can talk on the mic, too. Neil Magny, though, he's scary. I know he looked like crap in his fight against Ian Machado Gary. Ian Machado Gary dominated Neil Magny. I don't know if it was because of how he got in his head, but Neil Magny just looked off in that fight. Maybe because he took it on short notice when it was supposed to be initially. I can't remember who he was going to fight initially. Jeff Neal. Maybe that's why. Like, he was scared to take the fight and just was really hesitant. But Neil Magny can get you in a submission. He's got a long reach. You never know what can happen. But ultimately, Mike Malott is really good, and I see him climbing up the ladder and winning this fight. Of course, like I said, Neil Magny could pull off a win and stay in that welterweight division ranking that he always stays in. He's been in there forever. But I'm going to go with Mike Malott to win the fight, cut a good promo, and have the fans cheering like crazy. And then we've reached the co-main event of the evening for the vacant Women's Bantamweight Championship, as Amanda Nunes had relinquished the title due to her retirement. We have Raquel Pennington versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Where is Juliana Pena? And now, I didn't do any research as far as like looking up where she is, but I feel like Juliana Pena should be in this fight. Against who? Don't know. I think Mayra Bueno Silva is a little bit better. Raquel Pennington is tough and durable, and she can go 5 rounds. She can take a beating, but ultimately, I haven't been very impressed with anything that she's done in the UFC, and I don't know a lot about either of those or either of these two, but I do think that Mayra Bueno Silva is going to win the fight. It'll probably be a 5-round decision, and it might be bathroom break time. I hate to say that, but I'm not really a fan of this fight, but hopefully these two ladies can put on a show. I remember I wasn't very happy about the main event of UFC 245 when Covington fought Covington fought Usman for the first time. I'm like, great, 2 wrestlers, and then that fight was freaking crazy. So I don't know if this will be the same thing, but I'm hoping somehow, some way, these two ladies deliver a classic. But I don't think that's going to happen, but I do ultimately think that Mayra Bueno Silva will win the fight and become the new women's bantamweight champion of the world. And hopefully Amanda Nunes is there to hand her off the belt or something like that, because that would be rather fitting. And in the main event of the evening for the middleweight championship, the challenger, Dricus du Plessis, versus the champion, Sean Strickland. I never thought in my wildest imagination that Sean Strickland would beat Israel Adesanya, and it happened. He almost knocked him out in the first round, which was a crazy moment, and if you click here right here, with about 20 seconds left to go in this video, you'll see that as part of my highlight reel reactions, where it wasn't a finish, but that moment, me and my buddy went nuts. Jack went crazy, I went crazy, and I couldn't believe it. Wake up call time. Sean Strickland is really good. In fact, honestly, I believe, in my opinion, his only loss of recent years was to Alex Pereira, which I know he lost to Jared Cannonier. I thought for sure that Sean Strickland won that fight, but I guess the judges gave it to Cannonier. It is what it is, but in my opinion, the only loss that he has is to Pereira or Pajeda or whatever you want to say his last name. I hear different variations of it. I'm going to start saying Pereira when I've been saying Pajeda. But, Sean Strickland looked really good. You know what he's going to do. He's going to tuck that shoulder and throw that jab. And I don't know what else he is. Can he do anything else that's really going to, give give Dricus du Plessis trouble? I think Dricus du Plessis can do a lot. I think he can go for takedowns if he chooses. I think he can strike, and honestly, better than Adesanya did in that. I mean, Adesanya is a great striker, but he's more like of a crazy, striker that throws something at counter-strike, where Dricus du Plessis can throw anything at any time. And I don't know. He's already in Sean Strickland's head. I know they're going to cut. They're going to have a great, pre-fight press conference. Sean Strickland's going to say a bunch of crazy shit, which is great. And I like Sean Strickland because of who he is. He says what's on his mind. But ultimately, I don't think Dricus du Plessis is going to lose this fight. I've been on Dricus du Plessis' bandwagon for the last 3 fights especially. I was really pumping him up against Darren Till. I was really going hard on him, or hard for him, with Derek Brunson. He won both those fights. Now, I do believe, and I don't remember if I did or not, I do believe I picked Robert Whittaker to beat him. But I'm like, I don't know. I think Dricus du Plessis can beat Robert Whittaker too. I'd have to go back and listen to that predictions video. But I was really thinking Dricus du Plessis would win, but I was not 100% sold on it because we're talking about Robert Whittaker here. But he finished Robert Whittaker, which is crazy because not a lot of people do that as of late. Of course, Israel Adesanya did, but other than Dricus du Plessis, I can't remember the last time Robert Whittaker was finished. So I'm going to go with Dricus du Plessis to win this fight and become the new middleweight champion of the world, and probably have Israel Adesanya there to set up some future fight. Probably won't be at UFC 300. I would love if it would be. Personally, I think they should do Pereira versus Adesanya at that card if Adesanya is healthy, which it sounds like he could potentially be ready, but it's more likely that it would be another month or two. Now, I wouldn't want that fight to overshadow a McGregor-Chandler fight, so it wouldn't take place on that card. So it would probably be if they... I don't know if they're going to do multiple pay-per-views in 1 month, which they usually do twice a year. UFC 302 would be the night that Chandler and McGregor would fight. Assuming that fight happens, which I don't think UFC's actually confirmed yet. McGregor and Chandler have confirmed it, but I don't recall if UFC has. But UFC 301, which potentially could be in May, that would be a good spot for it if Adesanya is healthy. Or maybe UFC 303, or the fight card after the McGregor-Chandler one, the main pay-per-view card. So those are my predictions. Again, I'll repeat the same stuff I already said, but just in case you didn't hear it, if you're a fan of JDev TV, you like prediction videos and UFC fight reaction videos, make sure you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on my predictions, as well as I want to hear predictions that you have for this card, for the next card, for UFC 299, which I'm really pumped for, UFC 300, or any other card or any other fight predictions that you want to give that haven't been announced yet. And remember, I react to fights. Usually I'll post my first reaction about an hour after the main card is over with, unless there's some sort of copyright issue, which then I'll just pivot to another fight. So make sure you come back to the channel and watch my reaction videos. I'll do reactions to all the fights that are on the main card, which right now these are the ones that we have. It could change. We've already had a couple fights drop off this card, but so I'll have 5 days in a row with at least one fight that you can watch on this channel. Now, I don't always cover UFC stuff. A lot of times I don't watch the fight night cards, but I do cover the main pay-per-view cards. So come to the channel when you want to see UFC main card stuff. And occasionally I'll react to fights on other cards like the fight night card. Like I'm thinking about reacting to Magomed Ankalaev and Johnny Walker because I was already going to react. I reacted to the first one. And of course the fight with Manel Kape, who I really like. So maybe, just maybe, you'll see reactions to that. But click right here for that highlight reel UFC 2023 reactions that I did of all the fun moments in fights or fun finishes in fights. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And, of course, you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.